Conversations. We're making it easier to track the work that comes from conversations with your team. Because when companies use email or chat to have conversations about their work, action items regularly fall through the cracks. I'm sure it's happened to all of us. You're somewhere in the middle of an email thread and someone says, I'll do something, or something ought to happen, but the email can't track that work all the way to completion, so it just falls through the cracks. And this is a huge pain point for customers. So to show you how we've solved this problem, here's the product manager for Asana Conversations, Jennifer.
Thank you. Thanks you guys for coming out. And I'm really excited to talk with you about the new features we built today to help make communication better. So the new feature we've shipped is called Asana Conversations. We actually had a chance to use this feature when we opened our first international office in Dublin, Ireland. You know, at most companies, when you start a big project like this, it means spinning up long email chains or chat threads. There's not much clarity on who's doing what. Basically, it's a lot of talk without a lot of action. Instead, we used Asana Conversations to plan all this work, and we had clarity the whole time. So here's how it worked. Instead of using Asana just for tracking all the tasks that need to be done for opening the office, we also use project conversations to discuss next steps. Let's take a look. You can see that you could actually create tasks out of the conversation, which is pretty cool for a bunch of reasons. First, the work is really clearly delineated from the conversation. Everyone who's looking at this knows exactly who has to do the work and when it's going to happen. Now let's zoom into this task. We can follow it and track its progress, which is pretty much impossible to do in email. And the task doesn't just live buried inside the conversation. It also shows up automatically in the main project list. So there's no way for it to fall through the cracks. The task also shows up in the to-do list of the person who's responsible. So even if they weren't part of the original conversation, they can see exactly where the task came from, so they can get all the context to do their work. And when they mark it complete, it doesn't just show up on their own task list. It also shows up on the main project list. Everyone who's following this gets notified, so everyone stays on the same page. This means Asana actually turns communication into action. And because conversations live right inside Asana, you get all sorts of other benefits. You can search for conversations, even if you weren't part of the original thread. You can add new conversation participants without spamming everyone with a reply all. Instead of getting stuck on endless email threads, you can actually unfollow noisy conversations to get out of them. Your teammates can also use hearts to vote on ideas. It's super easy to start a conversation with any members of the project or team. You can even send announcements to your entire company. We all know that communication is vital for getting work done. Asana Conversations moves work forward. Thank you.
Thanks, Jen. So Asana Conversations is the second part of our news today and represents a major leap forward in marrying communication with getting work done. And like the redesign, Project Conversations ships today.